Welcome to Time for Healing. I'm your host, Marion Porter. Boy, howdy, do we have a show today. None other than Eagle Moon Rays is going to tell us all about Avatar. Yay!
Thanks,
The
Marion.
Avatar show. How you doing, love?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Oh my God, let's get right to it.
Okay.
Tell me, please, Avatar. What is it? I've resisted looking it up. I know it's not a movie, it's something else. What is Avatar?
Well, it's actually a course. It's a very powerful 9-day training that teaches you how to live deliberately.
Live deliberately.
Yeah.
Now, what is living deliberately? It sounds like it's just being deliberate, but I bet there's more.
Well, this is Harry Palmer's latest book. I'm just going to read Living Deliberately from this.
Knock it out.
This is on page 2 of the Avatar Path 2 book. It says, "The Dao of Living Deliberately. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived." That's by Henry David Thoreau.
I thought so.
And then living deliberately is looking and thinking for yourself. It is operating rationally according to your own aware will. It is assuming personal responsibility for your diet, addictions, actions, and mental processes. It is taking your life back. Living deliberately includes doing nothing as well as doing something. It includes directing as well as allowing. It includes stopping and starting. Living deliberately permits the modification of habit patterns and the perfection of character. Living deliberately is operating as a source being rather than reacting as an identity according to some implanted expectation or indoctrination.
Wow.
It is you
What keeps
against
going?
years of justifications, advertising, public education, addictions, habits, and outgunned by emotions. But the good news is, if you can appreciate the suffering and drag yourself the first few steps, it gets easier.
Wow.
Yeah, sums
I don't
it
know
up,
what that
doesn't it?
means.
Well, essentially what the Avatar course gives you is a set of tools so that you can create your life deliberately. So most of us go through life and we're indoctrinated by the world around us. And what living deliberately is about is to kind of white out all of that and just begin to live from your own source beingness.
Your own source beingness.
Right.
What is that?
So we use the word source, meaning for, like we're the source of the reality. So in many, we don't, because the Avatar course is designed to be beyond indoctrination. Harry Palmer, who's the author of the Avatar course and all the materials in these books, he put great effort into creating a course that is inclusive of all religions. It's inclusive of all belief systems. And so there isn't a passing on of beliefs. And so we use the word source because if we use the word God, it would include religion. And so we want to present the material in a way that is inclusive of all without creating any type of a religion.
So it's like a philosophy of life?
Is it like a philosophy of life? It's not that it is not heard of, it's not like, well, I'll give you a for instance. So the Avatar course, it's a path to begin with. You start with an introduction. What is Avatar? So the best way to understand what avatar is to have an experience. And so what
I'll get to have one later.
Yes, I'm going to give you an experience.
Oh boy.
So
Look at me.
what's really wonderful is when you have an experience of avatar, you can feel it in your core rather than processing it through your own head. When you process it through your mind, you're now looking at your beliefs and you're trying to make connections about what avatar is according to what your own mind is telling you. But when you have an experience about what avatar is, you have a feeling of, For me, when avatar first came into my house, what happened was I got a magazine called the Avatar Times.
Just happenstance?
Happenstance. Weird. I had a 2-year-old and I had a 3-year-old. Wow. And I was a busy mom. And normally I would have just thrown that right in the garbage and said, any junk mail, just like, I don't have time for this. But there was something very compelling about this piece of material. So I opened it and I saw happy people. And I was like, there are happy people in this magazine, which to me at the time was like, what? So
To see happy people kind of threw you?
It did. A magazine full of happy people.
Wow.
And so I read an article about this woman who, I'm going to use the word healed, but she transformed her relationship with her mother in the 9-day training. And I was so taken by it. I was like, what is this?
Wow.
And so I started to look into it, and it was something I couldn't let go of. I had so many obstacles in my way when I first learned about Avatar, that, my former husband was opposed. I didn't have any money. I was an at-home mom. I had a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. I had childcare was a problem. But there was something that was pulling me forward, that this was for me. I needed to really learn about this.
What about it said it was for you?
Well, I wanted to create a better life for my children. Like most parents, when they have young kids, this is their goal. So for me, number one, when I was a teenager, I unfairly blamed my mom. And I wasn't able to take responsibility for my relationship with my mom. And so when I read that, I did not want my children blaming me like I was blaming my mom. So I knew that when I read that, it was something that was saying to me, you need to look at this. You want to create a different life. And so what happened was, I live out in the Hebron area, and I would drive down Route 66 and I would see the word Avatar on telephone poles, which is very strange, like Xeroxed black and white signs for Avatar.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I know. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Well,
how exciting though.
It becomes even stranger because what ended up happening was I later discovered, years, 15, close to 20 years later, that it was banned in Middletown.
Oh.
Yeah, so this was their advertisement.
You didn't go to no shows?
No, I never went to a show. But when I was, it was 8 months after I got that first magazine, I was on a boat with all my major stresses. My parents, my children, 2-year-old and 3-year-old, and my former husband, surrounded by water. And I was really stressed.
Well, how exciting. How did you get yourself in that situation?
So I know, isn't that cool?
Yay.
There I was. And a yacht sails by with the name Avatar.
Oh, come on now.
Swear it.
So God was like, yo, this is what you need to look at.
Well, it was a sign, that this was it. And so I was in the training the next week.
Wow.
And back then it was one-on-one in somebody's living room. It's not like it is today. Now we have international trainings down in Orlando. We have one coming up. We have another one coming up in July. But they're all over the world, trainings all over the world. Wow. And it's so wonderful. And so now when you do the avatar course, you are with a whole bunch of people.
So you say the best way for me to know about it is to have an experience?
Yes.
Are we at the time where I can have my experience?
Well, before we do that, I want to just read something.
Oh, yes, please,
because
by all means.
Avatar has a mission.
Oh,
the Avatar
yes,
course.
yes, please.
Now, that Avatar is a path. The first course is the Avatar course. Then there's the Avatar Master's Training, which is a licensing training. So people that deliver the Avatar course are licensed Avatar Masters. I am a licensed Avatar Master. So then after that, there's the professional course, and then after that is the Wizard's course. And after the year 2020 is the last Wizard's course that's going to be on the planet.
And you're a wizard, aren't you?
I am a wizard.
It's very exciting.
My daughter did the Wizard's course too when she just turned 9 years old. So she put
When she turned 9 years old, she became a wizard.
There are younger wizards now. Their kids
Come on.
Swear it. 4 years old, 2 years old. Because here's the thing about the Avatar course. It is
2 years old, you can't even go to the bathroom on your own. How are you a wizard?
Well, what the Avatar course is, it's about consciousness, tapping into your consciousness. You don't learn the Avatar course through your mind. So kids love it. And they love their parents and, adults being on course too, because it's very playful, it's very light. You're outside. Your mind goes quiet on day 3. And it's kind of a meditative state, but you're not sitting on a cushion. You're outside, and your mind just goes quiet. Oh. And so you start to communicate in consciousness. And so when my daughter took the course, the kids are communicating beyond language. See, this is the exciting thing about it for me to watch this. So my daughter, when she did the Avatar course, she was 7 years old. And she said to me, she had this little Korean friend, and they would swim and play, and they just had so much fun. They didn't speak a common language other than being able to feel and intuit. So she said to me, well, Mom, if you want to know what she's talking about, just ask me, because I know exactly what she's saying.
Huh.
So what's beautiful about that is they're not processing what somebody says to them through their mind. They're feeling what they're communicating in a way that is very beautiful. It's very...
And this is how Avatar is?
That's what the children are doing.
Wow.
But when you're, not just children, the adults do it too, like connecting with somebody, you're able to really connect with who that individual is, you can feel what they're saying more than you're thinking what they're saying.
Cool. So can I have my experience?
You can.
Yay.
But I know you're excited, but I just want to read this first.
And we're also running out of time.
Wow, this goes fast.
I told you.
Whew.
Yay.
Okay. So I wanted to share with the viewers here what the mission of Avatar is in the world. Mm-hmm. So this comes from the book Resurfacing. This is one of the books that goes with the resurfacing workshop. And this is the other one, Living Deliberately.
Fantastic.
So the mission of Avatar in the world is to catalyze the integration of belief systems. When we perceive that the only difference between us is our beliefs, and that beliefs can be created or discreated with ease, the right and wrong game will wind down, a co-create game will unfold, and world peace will ensue.
Well, you heard it here first. All right.
All right.
Yay.
So
that's amazing.
This exercise comes from the mini course Perspectives. This is creating definition. And these mini courses are available free online, not in booklet form, but you can print them out.
Cool.
And you can go to avatarminicourses.com, and that will be presented at the end of the credits. So this exercise is called Counting Forms. And
Counting forms.
Yeah, it's very amazing. It's really, really wonderful. So edges define the shape, outline, or form of an object. In this exercise, you are interested in the form of the object, apart from its color, meaning, or composition. And I invite you who are viewing to also do this exercise along with us.
Yes, play along at home.
So the objective is to collect and focus your attention. This is really amazing for people that are very scattered, or if you feel very overwhelmed in your life and you don't know which way to go first. This is a really amazing exercise.
Nobody ever feels like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so the expected results: insights, improved perception, sense of well-being, and the recovery of self-determinism. So the instructions, this is like a walking around exercise, but Marion and I are just going to sit here.
Yeah.
So the instructions would be, if you're doing this outside on your own, take a walk and count forms until thinking diminishes or ceases entirely, and
Now,
the world
forms are the
appears
things that I'm
brighter.
seeing here?
Yeah, what you're going to do is you're going to notice my cup and notice the form that it occupies. So you've got this space, you got the handle,
An
the
oval
inside.
and a cylinder.
Yeah, just notice the space it occupies. And then just give it a number, 1.
Okay.
And you might want to notice the space my glasses occupy. And then you give that a number, 2. And now you can notice the space that the book occupies. And give that a number, 3.
Okay.
And then notice the space that this occupies, this book.
It's the very same space the other one was in.
Well, this one's a little bit bigger.
Oh, okay, yes.
Okay, so notice the outlines
Yeah.
and it's occupying space. So give that a number, 4. And this one's going to have a little bit different space because it has this binder. Notice the space this occupies.
Look at that.
Notice and give it a number, 5.
Wow.
And then here's another one. This one's got a bigger binder. Notice the space this occupies. It's a little
look
bit
at that.
thicker. Turn it this way. You can notice it differently.
Wow.
And give
What
it
is this doing for me?
6.
A 6.
How are you feeling?
I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling. It's curious. I feel almost kind of blank.
Yeah. Yeah. So your mind goes a little bit more quiet.
Yeah.
You come into the present. And
Is that how I'm supposed to feel?
yeah, it
Hey, look at
brings
me.
you. Yes, look at you.
I'm good at it.
So that's the beautiful thing about the avatar materials is that there's lots and lots and lots of different results that you can achieve. And that's one of them.
We got 10 minutes. Can we do another?
You kind of feel blank. You want to do another exercise?
Yes.
Okay, this one is called Minding the Edges. Again,
Minding
it comes
the
from the
Edges.
same exercise, the same booklet. This is a mini course.
And how is this to change my life? It got me to go blank, but how is it to change my life?
The counting forms exercise?
Yes.
Well, I use the counting forms exercise when I'm tutoring children who are really scattered and they're having difficulty. We'll go and we'll count forms so that they can quiet and come into the session so that
Cool.
they're not so, bouncing off the
Well,
walls.
it worked for me.
Yeah. And so it's a good exercise to do if you feel overwhelmed. So for young people, if they feel overwhelmed with schoolwork and they don't know where to begin, this is an excellent exercise to do that with.
Wow.
Because what it does is it quiets you. Like our mind gets so busy and it pulls us in so many different ways.
Yes. And
Without a way in life to quiet your mind, it gets extremely difficult to navigate life without the mind interfering. Now, the mind interferes by labeling everything all the time. Okay, cup, book, rather than fully experiencing.
Yes. So wait a minute now. So I wasn't, I was just seeing a cup, but having me do that had me experience the cup. Oh, what else can we do?
Yeah.
Let's do something else. We've
So-
got 8 minutes and 21 seconds.
And that's the beauty of the avatar materials, is that it's about experience. And so the avatar course is about experiencing life. So it's not thinking your way through life. It's not following blindly what other people are guiding you to do. It's about living and being alive.
Oh, I want to be alive.
I know.
That's handy.
I know.
Yay.
But that's exactly it. You were seeing the form of the object without saying, oh, it's a cup. That's a different experience. Oh,
at
cup,
that.
got it.
Look at that. What's next?
Okay, so this exercise is called Minding the Edges.
Oh, boy.
All right. And this exercise, again, is a walking around exercise, but there's some components to it that we can do it sitting down.
Yeah.
So this exercise, whenever you define something, you create an edge or a limit. Even consciousness at least our everyday consciousness appears to have edges. So a long time ago, my mother, this is Harry Palmer who wrote this, taught me that the way to get through a horror movie without becoming too frightened was to mind the edges of the screen. Minding the edges means staying aware beyond the peripheral limits of the focus of your attention.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So the objective here is to learn to observe without attention becoming fixed. So resurfacing the first part of the avatar course is about really learning to control your attention, directing your attention, and strengthening your will.
So this is good if you got ADD.
Yes.
Because, oh, boy, do I have the ADD.
Yes, exactly. So staying aware beyond the peripheral, limits of your attention.
Oh.
So if you, and for you out there watching, this is the expected results. So the ability to shift attention between definitions. And the instructions. This is the first instruction. Take a walk and notice that your perceptual fields have edges, limits. Stay aware outside the limits.
The show's got some limits of like five and a half minutes.
It's ticking along. So that's what you would do, is like notice that your perceptual field has limits. Just stay aware beyond those. So for now, instruction 2 is engage in a conversation with someone and mind the edges of what you discuss. Stay aware beyond the edges. So you and I can have a conversation and just stay aware beyond the edges.
Where's the edge?
Where's the edge of what your perceptual field is?
Yes, so I'm having a chat with you, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what my perceptual field is.
Do this. So tell me, can you see your hands?
Yes.
Okay, can you see your hands?
Yes.
Can you see your hands?
No.
Okay, that's the limit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So what you want to do is stay aware beyond the your field, your perceptual field.
So in this case, I should ignore the ticking clock.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. We got all the time in the world. I ignore you, you limit. Yes, okay, here we are. So so this is fascinating.
Yeah.
Am I doing it?
Yeah. How do you feel?
I don't know, because I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to ignore that the show's almost over, and we're just chatting away.
Okay, so just really put your attention beyond the clock. So like where you can't see anymore. Put your attention back here.
All right.
Just your attention. So you could put your attention back there and still look at me, right?
No. Okay, I'm trying.
So be aware that beyond you there's a door and there's bushes, and just stay aware.
Oh,
Of
like
what?
the outside world.
Beyond the limits of your perceptual field. And how do you feel when your attention is focus beyond the limits of your perceptual field?
I don't know. It feels more ADD than ADD.
Feels
Because-
more ADD than ADD?
Yeah, because I'm taking into consideration everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a cheeseburger now across the street. I mean, that's like way more ADD. I'm not paying attention to you anymore, love.
Well, that's it.
But shouldn't I be paying attention to you?
Well, if you are in an argument with somebody and being able to stay aware beyond the limits of your perceptual field, it actually brings you into the present moment so that you can actually perceive and have a conversation without feeling agitated. So we think paying
So
attention.
this is almost like being distracted.
It's not about being distracted. It's about having your attention freed up so that you could be fully present. So we think paying attention, giving somebody our full attention is
Hanging on every word.
right, is polite, but not so polite when somebody's giving you words that you don't like. So what this exercise helps is to be able to be engaged in a conversation even if there's things being said that you might want to react to. It takes away the reactivity.
So it's not daydreaming.
No, it's not daydreaming. It's being fully present.
So like I could be talking to you and like, oh look, there's some lovely plants behind you, and isn't
Yeah.
that an interesting curtain?
Well,
Your hair looks fluffy.
You're being aware beyond the limits of your perceptual field.
And that's
But you can perceive what's behind me
oh,
beyond your perceptual field.
so things I can't see,
Right.
like perhaps birds in a tree somewhere outside. But then I'm not paying attention to you.
Well, so let's go back to here. So this is the limit of your perceptual field, right?
Uh-huh.
So you could be aware of what's going on behind you and still be in the present moment.
It's kind of grounding,
Yes.
actually. Oh, I get it now.
So you could be fully present with another human being.
Wow.
So like if you're at a horror movie and you're really scared, you have forgotten that it's a movie. You're in it. So
I don't want to be in it.
what's that?
I don't want to be in it.
Right. So that's why Harry Palmer has created this exercise is the way if you are aware that there's a screen, you can remember this is just a movie.
So I'm not getting caught up into the drama of life with this.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, is to not get batted around in life.
Thank you so much, Eagle Moon Rays, for being on my show talking about Avatar. This was spectacular.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thanks for having me.
Oh, yes, we may have to have you back again. All right, well, thank you for watching Time for Healing, and tune in next time for another fantastic show. Take it easy.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.